just gonna mute everyone. Okay, it's Tuesday, Attention Training Tuesday. I listened to a really interesting podcast with uh, between two very intelligent and very compassionate human beings. So Sam Harris and Yuval Harari, who I don't know if you guys know him. He's an author. He's an Israeli historian, and um, and the theme came up. They were talking about mindfulness or the practice of meditation and how it fits into this chaos, this awfulness that is going on in the Middle East right now. And on some level, how much our behaviors as human beings are dictated by wherever our attention goes, right? So if we're fixated on certain ideas of, who's in part of the in group or who believes the right stuff, and, are we sort of ordained by history and religion to be here versus those guys aren't, and it creates this, creates a lot of suffering for a lot of people. And I think we're witnessing firsthand how when our when people's attention gets fixated on something and gets rigid, it results in some pretty intense stuff. And so I was having this conversation with a patient at the clinics, and I was reminding them that we humans are very much like the weather. And what I mean with that is I want you to imagine that you wake up these days, at least here in Northern California, nights have been cool, days have been pretty hot. You wake up and you walk to the front door. It's, I don't know, 6 a.m. It's still kind of dark and cold out, and you have a certain idea in mind as to what the weather is going to be like, and suddenly you're surprised and like, oh my gosh, it's way cooler than I thought it was going to be. And so most of us, I think, we open the front door, we come into contact with the weather, and then we adjust and we say, oh gosh, it's not as warm as I thought it was going to be. Let me go get I don't know, a jacket or a hoodie, or maybe even put on long pants and socks, and we just kind of deal with it. Um, I think very few of us sort of, I'm going to be intentionally dramatic here, like we fall to our knees and we shake our fists at the heavens and say, why, why are you cold when I thought you were going to be warm? And this has got everything to do with me. And this is a personal commentary on me and who I am. And I should be this way or I shouldn't be that way. We just don't do that. We're very matter of fact when it comes to the weather. I think part of it has to do with the fact that we know that we don't control the weather. Like the weather just is what it is, and it's kind of pointless to take it personally and get upset about it. And so the invitation today is to imagine other people being just like the weather. Like we have no control over what they say, what they feel, what they think, they do. Like we're on the receiving end of, oh wow, this person's really upset, or this person's really feels really intense and moody, whatever labels we attach to it. And how often do we take that personally and get sort of sidetracked by what's happening for other people? And I think coming full circle has everything to do with where our attention goes. So when we fixate our attention on a narrative that says this person should be this way and not the way that they are, or why are they acting this way when I think they should be behaving differently? It's kind of a pointless, very frustrating, very emotional experience. So just sort of focusing this idea of wherever our attention goes is where our energy and our emotional experience goes. And so I thought maybe today we could explore some experiences where we've experienced other people being a certain way, and we have this idea that they should be different right now, and how that affects us. And if we could shift or transition to a place where we just say, well, they're just like the weather, they're just doing what they're doing, I have no control over it, and just notice how that changes things. So let's start by closing our eyes, And just noticing right here, right now, we're just sitting and breathing. It's literally that simple. One of my mentors used to remind me and say, everything else is just a story. Literally just sitting and breathing. You notice the sensation of breath in the nostrils and the throat, with the sound that the in breath and out breath are making. Sensation of breath in the belly and the chest. And just a reminder that right now, you are that simple. That's literally all that's going on. Your mind, of course, is remembering, anticipating, thinking, believing. And the invitation for this meditation is think back to a moment in time where you were interacting with someone and it didn't feel good. Don't overthink this. Just sort of drop into whatever memory first pops into your mind. What were they saying? What were they doing? And in this memory, notice where your mental energy is going. What's the narrative or the story that you're telling yourself about what they should be doing or shouldn't be doing? Can't believe they just said that. They just looked at me funny. Or they just did that. How rude, how obnoxious, how fill in the blank. Notice how in that moment, your energy, your attention is fixating on this story, this, this narrative of what they should be doing and how things should be different. And feel into your body and see where you feel this belief that they should be doing something different than they are. Using your hands, your belly, chest. And redirecting your attention towards just what's actually happening. What are they actually doing? Noticing how much control do you have over what they're saying, what they're doing, the way they're behaving. And then imagine that they're just like the weather. They're just doing their thing. They're saying what they're saying. They're looking at you the way that they're looking at you. It's just happening. You have no control over that. We do have some control over how we hold that or how we respond to it and where our attention goes with it. Maybe imagining they're just like a cloud passing through the sky or cold weather or warm weather. They're just doing their thing. We focus our attention on simply responding skillfully and gracefully and kindly. It's not personal. They're just being them. Notice how wherever that attention goes is what determines our reality in that moment. So we can either suffer through it and tell ourselves things should be different. We can just drop into accepting that they're doing what they're doing and we have a choice as to how we respond. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. Long exhale through the mouth, relaxing the shoulders, the belly, chest, hands. And hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhale through the nose. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. Come on back to this session. And yeah, the invitation for today, Attention Training Tuesday is just notice where your attention goes as you're interacting with other people, and notice how when you attach to certain ideas or stories about what they should or shouldn't be doing, how that affects your mood, your physical sensations, and so on. So hope that was useful.